Look at Eleanor sniffing Buddy's tail. Hi, Eleanor. Are you being kinky over there smelling his tail? And how are you, Mr. Oh, big yawn. How are you, Mr. Buddy? Huh? How are you? Oh, my good boy. I have to twist into a pretzel to pet you. Hi. Good morning. Good morning, honey. Do you want to say anything to your friends? Do you want to say anything? Hello? No. Okay. Whoop. How about you, Eleanor? You want to say hi? No? Okay. Love you. Buddy, I'm trying to take a picture of Eleanor. What? I'm trying to take a picture of Eleanor. Oh, cat butt. Hi, honey. Good morning. I love you. I love you. Her tail wags when I say I love you more than it does when I don't. See what? I love you. I love you. Oh, you're proving me wrong now. I love you. Okay, buddy. I hear you. Buddy, you look suspiciously innocent right now. Okay. And look at this. They have been so close lately. This is not normal that they're so close. We're just hanging out in bed. I don't want to get out of bed. They're right here with me. My babies. My babies. Let me see that face. Buddy. Buddy. That's my spot. What are you doing in my spot? Huh? Huh?
Hey guys, how are ya? Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. Look, I know 2 videos in a row. It's like I'm getting ready for Vlogmas or something. How are ya? Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. It is the 23rd of November. It is 5:18 in the evening. The sun has just set. You can see behind me right down there. It has been a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. And it's not over yet. It's been a beautiful day. I'm not sure if I posted the videos of the cats before I started talking to you or after, but I woke up this morning about 6 o'clock. The cats woke me up. Eleanor crawled over the pillow above my head and went, and she's looking for a treat. So the cats woke me up for treats about 6 o'clock. We went back to sleep, woke up, went back to sleep. And honestly, it was the most beautiful morning I've ever had with my cats. That's saying a lot. If you're a pet owner or if you are in a relationship with a dog or a cat, or I don't know if iguanas are cuddly, but that moment, that perfect moment with your cat or your dog or whatever, I had one of those moments today. It was, I don't know what was going on, but Buddy was his perfect self. Eleanor was actually a little bit more outgoing and more cuddly and more loving, throwing herself on her back. Eleanor is a little bit more skittish, and she doesn't like any quick movements, and she's still behaves sometimes like a stray cat. As much as you see her very sedimentary on camera, in person, sometimes she just doesn't want attention. She wants to kind of stay back on her own. But today she was just, it was perfect. I mean, honestly, so we stayed in bed about till about 11:30 this morning because I wasn't getting out of that bed until they were done. But it was fantastic. I got up, had a little bite to eat, and I started listing some things on eBay. Over the past 2-3 days, I've listed about 30 items on my eBay page there. I think I'm going to open up a storefront. I think I'm going to. I'm not quite sure. I'm on the fence. But I listed some things on eBay. A lot of yarn. I have been on this kick lately of finding really nice looking. You just look at some fabrics, like I can find nice fabrics like this shirt. It is delicious. But you can see it from a mile away. This is a really nice fabric. This is by a company called O'Neill. I really don't know them at all, but it's a beautiful, beautiful shirt. I have been finding yarn in bags, in big lots of yarn for cheap, like $14 for a big giant bag full of yarn that really looks expensive. So I've done a little research looking into yarn and how it has sold. And look, that might be 230,000, skeins of yarn up for auction or for purchase on eBay, but a ton of it sells. So I bought a bunch of yarn over the past few months. I hadn't listed it. It's been lying around in bags with other things that I mean to list. So over the past couple of days, I've listed some of that yarn on, and some of it is hand dyed in France. Some of it's local out from the Southwest. The poor woman who hand dyed this yarn, it's called Desert Vista or something like that. She stopped making her yarn because she has cancer and she's not having a good time. So, but I probably have 40 skeins of yarn from her company. So I listed all of that stuff. And today, ka-ching, some of it sold. I had this yarn. I've got, isn't that nice? All the little heathered bits inside there. This reminds me of a sweater from like 1981. A navy sweater with these little nubbly collars running through it. But I listed 2 listings for $5 each of these. Originally, this yarn was, I think, $16.50 when it was being manufactured. I sold 5 of these for $125. Thank you very much. So excited. This yarn is really nice. The color's great. The wool's nice. This happens to have been, and I've learned a lot about yarn over the past couple of days. If it makes me money, I start learning more about it. This wool was sourced in Johnson County, Wyoming. It was spun in Harrisville, New Hampshire, and it was dyed in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So I listed 2 listings for $5 each of these, and one of them sold today for $125. Someone offered me $90 yesterday, and I said, no, sorry, I just listed these. I'm going to see what happens. And then today, I get $125. And then I listed this. Somebody asked, like, how did I learn what to reach for? How do I know what to sell? I don't know. Sometimes it just has to be incredibly ugly or weird. Case in point. So this is a model rocket kit. You can see the bag and the packaging is really beaten up. It's from like 1982. It's just cardboard and pieces of plastic. I bought it at Goodwill months ago. It's been sitting in the house for months in a bag. And I picked it up. I pulled it out today. I said, oh, it's time. Let me list this. I listed it. eBay was suggesting $300 as a selling price. And I went, that seems a little ambitious. Let me list it for $125. 10 minutes later, I get an email or a message saying, are you taking offers? I said, no, sorry. I literally just listed this minutes ago. And then I said, thank you for your message, but no, I'm not going to take any offers yet on this. And 10 minutes later, ka-ching, $125. So today, I made $250 by selling 5 skeins of yarn and this stupid bag of plastic and cardboard. I'm having a great day. So happy. Yeah, so it's just really been nice. Tonight, this evening, I was asked to be a speaker at an online AA meeting, and it's in Sackanack something lake up in New England somewhere, and it was an online Zoom meeting of maybe 15 people, and they said the meeting lasts an hour. You can talk as long as you want. Dangerous territory there. So I spoke for about 40 minutes, which is, and they said, oh, you can keep going if you want. I'm like, no, this is better if I just keep it, a little more concise. There's things I left out of the story, but They're alcoholics too. They know they probably know what I was going to say. But it was a fantastic meeting, and I got to hear other people talk about their experience, strength, and hope, and what's happening today. One guy who's approaching 90 days sober, and he's having a little bit of a difficulty, but he said it was very helpful to hear someone with a sense of humor talk about recovery, and I think that may have been me. I'm not quite sure. But so yeah, it's been a great day. I mean, my great relationship with my cats. I went to a great meeting. I had a couple really great sales, and then you're here with me. Isn't that nice? So I just wanted to stop in and say hi and tell you what a great day I'm having, and how this recovery meeting I went to, this AA meeting, reminded me of how grateful I am for everything that I've been through. Because I've been through the ringer, and it only allows me to be so grateful for where I am right now, even with the uncertainty with work, because I can't say anything about what's going on with the bankruptcy situation or whatever, but there's a lot going on. We're going to have to vote as a flight attendant group as to what kind of concessions we're willing to talk about, and it's just a very stressful time. But this meeting just reminded me how grateful I am to be even in a position where I get to vote on something like this. I'm just so grateful for my life. But while I had my computer open from the Zoom call, I popped over to YouTube to see if there's any comments, because I read every single comment. And there's one from Sky Butler I have not read yet because it's long, and I want to be able to sit down and really read it. And then there's another one here that from Jude Diamato, asked me a question 3 weeks ago that I have been meaning to add to a Q&A question and answer kind of thing. But I figured while I'm here talking, and this video is only 9 minutes so far, not counting the cat videos, I figured I'd answer one of the questions from my comment section. So Jude asked me, can you please let me know what inspired you to become an airline host? Thank you in heaven, safe week, something like that. So what inspired me to become a flight attendant? Well, I never wanted to be a flight attendant. I never wanted this job. I never wanted to be a flight attendant. I flew quite often when I was a kid. My family was in the States. My mother had married her second husband and then her third husband, and they brought our family to Germany, and I lived there for 4 years, and I flew back and forth across the Atlantic many times on my own. I was an unaccompanied minor on a C-5. Google a C-5 aircraft. It's crazy. It's more of a transport vehicle. It would like fly machinery and automobiles and tanks and stuff. You have to wear a big giant protective headphones, so you don't go deaf. It's so loud. I flew on a C-5 all the time. It cost $10 each way back then. It was a long time ago. But I'd flown a lot as a kid. But as an adult or a late teen, I really didn't fly that often. And I was very, 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 I was very afraid of flying. Any turbulence, I would cry. I'd grip the armrest with a death grip, and I would start to cry. And I'm praying to a woman I don't believe in. And I absolutely hated to fly. I'm actually holding on to the armrest right now, like with a death grip. I was just remembering how much I hated to fly. I did not want to be a flight attendant. What happened? So it's been a long time since I've talked about this. So, if you know my story, I was living in Tampa after a relationship fell apart, partly because of me, and because they're jerks, but partly because of me. I ended up living in a minivan in Tampa, which is not nearly as successful or sexy as it sounds. I needed a job. I was working 28 hours a week for $9 an hour at this ceramics pottery warehouse It was almost impossible to find a full-time job with insurance and stuff. So I was living on almost nothing. I paid for my Obamacare, I paid for gas, car insurance, and whatever was left over was like food and gas. And I was showering in a Planet Fitness every day before going to work, and I was sleeping in Planet Fitness parking lots because they're open 24 hours and there's no police knocking on the window like you get at Walmart or something. But that's where I was, and I needed a full-time job. And it was Christmas Eve. I was in Atlanta with my friends Stephen and Phil and Juan. We were driving up to the Smoky Mountains. My friend Stephen has like a McMansion on the top of one of these mountains in North Carolina. We're driving up there, and I'm on Indeed or whatever website I was on, just applying for jobs. I was going to move to Atlanta. Every one of my stories is this long, so if you're not used to it, I'm sorry. I was spending some time in Atlanta because I was trying to find work. Stephen had invited me to live in his house rent-free. So I was looking for work in Atlanta. I applied to Coca-Cola. I applied to the Saks and Neiman's and everywhere that I could think of that would be aspirational enough, but also pay me and give me health care. My friend Steven said, oh, you want to be a flight attendant? No, but I'm applying for everything. And Atlanta is owned by Coca-Cola and Delta. So I thought I could do something for Delta. I didn't necessarily think of a flight attendant, but I was thinking like gate agent, or a front desk person. I wasn't thinking flight attendant. So he said, well, if you want to be a flight attendant, you should apply to other airlines. And I wasn't really thinking, but I just went through and I went onto the websites for JetBlue, American. Spirit was there, and I had never heard of Spirit before. So I applied. I'm like, sure, all right, I'll apply to you, and blah, 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 blah. I got a job offer at Saks Fifth Avenue selling fine jewelry, and they were going to offer me everything they could possibly offer. It's a flat commission environment, but they were going to give me some leeway, and they were going to give me everything I wanted because they had heard from human resources in Boston on how good I was as a salesperson. So they wanted to keep me there. I walked out of that Saks Fifth Avenue interview thinking, I should be very happy right now. I just have a job offer at Saks Fifth Avenue in fine jewelry. They're giving me everything they can possibly give me. I'd be living rent-free in a Buckhead, Atlanta mansion kind of thing in Buckhead. I should be thrilled. But once again, I'm living in somebody else's house. Once again, I'm stuck behind a counter selling things that I really don't care about to people who really don't care about me. And I'm standing there outside waiting for an Uber, thinking I should be happy right now, but I wasn't. And just as I thought I should be happy right now, I got a little notification. I got an email from Spirit saying, hi, we'd like to meet you. So I went to the interview, and I got the offer to go to training. I got a CJO with my airline, and I did not want to be a flight attendant, and I did not. I ended up back in Tampa, living in my little minivan, because all my stuff was scattered around in different places. And I went to Busch Gardens in Tampa for 3 weeks. Every single day. I bought one of those fun cards, those adventure passes where you had access every day. So I went to Busch Gardens every day. I rode roller coasters every day for 6-8 hours a day. I rode roller coasters to get used to being flung around, to have absolutely no control over the situation. And I went from screaming in absolute terror, my soul was leaving my body, to the other extreme where I would giggle bonelessly as my body was flung around Montu. If you know Tampa, Busch Gardens, Montu is my favorite roller coaster. Man, it's all over the place. But when I finally got to the point where I could giggle joyously, freely, where my body was just weightless, or pushed down by the forces of centrifugal force, you know, and enjoying all the physical sensations, that is when I felt safe enough to actually become a flight attendant. So I did not mean to become a flight attendant by any means. But after becoming a flight attendant, I discovered how much I love it. And I love it more now than I did then. Sometimes I get tired of certain things, but I've been doing it for you know, I'm in my 9th year. Everyone says you talk about how long you've been with the company when you're in the year you are in. So I will officially, my 9th anniversary will be on March 1st, but I'm in my 9th year, pretty much almost all the way through it. So we always say I've been there 9 years. And yeah, it's been amazing. So that is a very long answer, probably 10, 12 minutes of what inspired me to become an airline host. So there you go. I almost looked in the wrong spot on my camera here. Thank you for joining me today on this very short, kind of strange video. I feel like I'm very speedy right now, and I'm what I really want is to eat. So I'm gonna let you go. Then I'm gonna pack up these things so I can have them shipped out tomorrow ASAP. $250 selling this stuff. Isn't that exciting? All right, I will see you. Oh, that was loud. I will see you guys later. All right, bye. Fly safe.